Alright, so today we're going to react to PlayStation's physical media free future is offensive. We all heard about their announcements about how they're going to stop producing physical media in 2028. So let's react to this video here. It's by IGN. So you know it is crazy when people are agreeing with IGN. Anyways, let's get right into it.
PlayStation has suddenly told its audience to brace themselves for an entirely physical media-free future. The news comes just days after the company unapologetically informed users it was about to permanently delete more than 550 Studio Canal distributed movies from the PlayStation network.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And literally remove them from the accounts of any customer who previously purchased them. It's honestly one of the most baffling corporate failures to read the room since Microsoft handed Don Matrick a microphone and allowed him to discuss how the Xbox One probably wasn't gonna suit someone serving on a nuclear submarine.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who are...
It's crazy. Time might really be a flat circle. Not gonna lie to you. Because I know we have to wait and see, but my question, did Sony just pull an Xbox One? Like, did they just pull a Microsoft and literally just fuck themselves over?
Aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called
PlayStation 5.
So stick with
PS5.
See, that's your message if you don't,
well,
don't like it?
if you have zero access to the
God,
internet,
bro.
that is an offline device.
That is, PlayStation is
Microsoft
following up
years.
a brazenly anti-consumer rug pull of digital content with fresh confirmation that all PlayStation content from 2028 onwards will be exclusively digital. The timing would be hilarious if it wasn't so appallingly offensive. However, the facts are in, and the standard has been set. You cannot trust digital purchases, and you cannot trust the corporations that offer them. While I maintain a library of physical games I love, and I regularly browse charity stores and my local CEX for hard copies of things I know I'll enjoy having stashed on a shelf, allow me to qualify that I have indeed purchased and downloaded many digital games over the decades via console and PC storefronts, provided they always remain available to re-download, even if delisted from sale. It's a compromise I've been willing to concede for now. Credit where credit's due, it's been a pretty workable arrangement to date. For instance, when the disc tray on my Xbox 360 turned to dust during the production of a recent racing game retrospective I put together to celebrate IGN's 30th anniversary, I found myself pulling down 20-year-old, long delisted DLC on a replacement console without much fuss. Of course, as much as I appreciate this functionality, I'm not gonna celebrate it. The ability to simply re-download content we've purchased in the past should be a bare minimum service. I'm not asking for content to be hand-delivered to me, I'm asking for a server to be left switched on. If non-profits like the Internet Archive can do it, I'm sure commercial video game juggernauts can manage likewise.
True.
On the flip side, I've never ever purchased a movie digitally. My household still subscribes to several streaming services, and I'm content enough with their convenience for the time being, but my movie collection is otherwise strictly physical. Prior to entering the media industry, I worked at Blockbuster Video, all the way through.
But like my thing with that, like that is crazy. Like they take away all the movies that you own, and they don't even give you your money back. That's crazy to me. Like, cause you own that. Like, that is the crazy thing with all of this stuff. Like with this whole digital, is that they can just take away your license. Like, cause you buy, like when you buy something online, you're buying a license. You're not buying the actual game. So they can just take the game away and just not even refund you. Even though that's your money that you spent, that you are entitled to. It's crazy.
Through the transition from VHS to DVD, which is where my collection started. I'm hesitant to put a figure on its current size on the off chance my wife watches this, but I will admit I'm deeply nostalgic about video stores. Like, proper deeply. If If I can't visit them anymore, building one around me was the next best thing. Now I can work at IGN while still ensconced in a video store. At any rate, I've never had an interest in starting a digital library of movies beholden to any one vendor. I've just never trusted the concept. Frankly, the Studio Canal debacle on PlayStation Network is all the reason I need to ensure I never will. Sony discontinued the ability to make movie and TV purchases and rentals on the PlayStation Store back in August 2021. However, users were still able to watch the content they purchased beyond that cutoff. However, it appears those purchases were on a ticking clock. Whatever agreement Sony and Studio Canal had for that content to remain hosted on PSN for people who bought it has either lapsed or completely imploded. We can't know because neither company has explained or apologized for it. IGN has sought comment. At this time, it hasn't been forthcoming.
Of course, PlayStation
For the
is
corporate
quiet.
bootlickers in the back, we've read the legalese. You don't need to parrot it back. We're all aware of the insidious terms and conditions that companies apply to transactions for digital media in order to be able to snatch it away without consequence. We're aware of the fact that, despite companies being clearly permitted to use words like buy and purchase, we're only ever really leasing a license to access content. A license companies can revoke at their discretion. The fact remains is this: if someone entered my home and scooped up my copies of Terminator 2, This Is Spinal Tap, Total Recall, Cliffhanger, Highlander, Leon, First Blood, and whatever else they saw fit to steal, that's theft. That it happens with a line of code being rewritten or deleted doesn't make it less so. So what exactly does an exclusively digital future really look like? It looks like shit. I've already had an appetizer of it. In 2024, Ubisoft announced The Crew, a full-price, premium game with multiple pieces of paid DLC in the form of car packs and major expansions, was to be nuked from existence and removed from the libraries of customers who bought it. Ubisoft was hit with a lawsuit over it, which it responded to by insisting that buying a game only gives players a limited license to access the game. The explanation went down like a lead balloon. It's an imperfect example, since not even owning The Crew on disc helps in this particular instance. Despite having full support for single-player progress, it's an online-only game and the discs are now worthless. It was, nonetheless, an effective glimpse at a future where games can be yanked away, leaving consumers conned out of their cash. Consumers gain nothing of worth from an all-digital future.
So the real reason... There's two reasons as to why I think PlayStation is doing this. The first one, and I think is the main reason, is because of the rising costs of gaming, production, upkeep, everything. They're trying to get rid of the secondhand market. So they're effectively trying to cut off, GameStop, Facebook Marketplace, eBay, all that, because they don't get a cut of that. Maybe they do from GameStop, but they don't get a cut from Facebook Marketplace. They don't get a cut from eBay, from any other reseller market. They don't get a cut of that. So they're trying to kill that. So that if you can only buy the game through their storefront, hey, they get a cut of that. As well as they can still charge you full price, even though the game has been out for 4 years. Because why is Black Ops 2 still $60? What are we talking about? The game came out in 2012. It is 2026. And you're still need to pay full price for that game? It's crazy to me. So that's what PlayStation is doing. They're just trying to get rid of the secondhand market. And the second reason, I think, was just because of the decreasing popularity in physical media. Because a lot of people like me probably are buying most of the games digital now. But I will say this though, I did used to be one of those guys who are like, bro, why are you even worrying about them not making physical media anymore? No one buys physical. Digital is the future. But I didn't realize that you're only just buying a license. You don't really own the game. But it sucks though because of the convenience of digital. I still buy physical media. I still buy physical media for PlayStation games. So right here, let me do this. So right here, look, Armored Core, Scarlet Nexus here, Saints Row, Criminal Custom Edition, the reboot, and I got Days Gone. But I still do buy some games digital as well. But I think we should have figured out that PlayStation was going to do something like this when you can't refund games that you buy there digital after you play them, which kind of like is kind of the whole point though. Like if I don't like something, I can refund it. So PlayStation is being very, very lucrative with all of this. The fact that they're trying to get rid of the secondhand market, and that when you do buy a game, you're stuck with it, and you can't refund it. And they're also doing something with the whole game sharing, because I know there's a loop around where like if you had 2 accounts on the PlayStation, you game shared between the two. You could just play one on the other account, and just test it. And if you didn't like it, you go back to the main account and then refund it. I think they're getting rid of that as well. So they are just trying to make it to where like if you buy something, you are stuck with it. And when they are through with it, they can just take the license away. And they won't give you your money back because you only bought a license. You didn't actually buy the game. So it's very crazy and very lucrative. But if this is the future of gaming, man, it is looking bleak.
What do we lose? Let's dig. We're now staring down the barrel of a future where the PS6 doesn't come with a disk drive. Separate reports are indicating that Xbox may also be moving away from physical media, and that the next generation Project Helix device will also not feature a disk drive. It's a philosophy that will likely sideline anyone with a curated collection of physical games,
But the thing with the Project Helix is that it's going to be kind of like a mini PC where it's going to have all the storefronts on it. So Steam, Epic Games, Xbox. So I'm not trying to sit here and justify it, but at least with the Project Helix, like you still have a reason to buy it, right? Because people do love Steam. People who own PCs who can't even buy physical media for that anymore still enjoy buying things on Steam, Epic Games, all of that because they treat them well. I don't know much about Epic Games, but I do know Steam does. So people are very cool about that.
Even a hybrid library that's part disc, part digital. So it's a rake in the face for backwards compatibility.
But Xbox is doing that
entirely unappealing feature for vintage gamers, the support of whom laid the bedrock for the business today. What impact does an all-digital future have on certain genres of games? An uncertain one, at best. No one is denying the seismic shift in consumer preference, or how digital game sales do indeed eclipse physical sales, broadly speaking. However, as noted in a 2025 analysis from the game business, there are certain genres of games that still sell well on disc. At least across the UK, single-player story-driven games and family games have regularly seen much stronger physical sales than typical. That is, almost half of Hogwarts Legacy, Assassin's Creed Mirage, and Resident Evil 4 Remake sales were physical. In the case of Spider-Man 2 and Astrobot, the figure was reportedly over half. How long will publishers continue to invest in the sorts of single-player games many people still crave if it becomes apparent the audience isn't fully migrating? What does it mean for game preservation? Nothing good. Archivists, historians, and museums have been fighting a frustrating battle with the games industry for years, and removing physical games from PlayStation's future is not going to help in the slightest. Certainly not when trade groups like the US Entertainment Software Association are so demonstrably against the concept of game preservation that it actively maintains the process of restoring old games is illegal hacking, and lobbies against academic institutions being permitted to take measures to preserve old games and keep them playable for future generations. What does it mean for games with limited lifespans due to licensed characters, cars, or music? It means no discovery after the fact. Right now, a kid entering the gaming community today can use second-hand marketplaces to wind back the clock and experience games that are no longer available digitally. Weren't born when the first Forza Horizon game came out, but adore Forza Horizon 6? Well, you can't download most of them anymore, but there are still discs out there in the wild for you to collect and keep. The same goes for all kinds of delisted gems, from Driver San Francisco to Drive Club, or old Bond and Spider-Man games? How does this work a decade into an all-digital future? It doesn't. What does it mean if you gravitate towards older, used games? An entirely understandable approach considering cost of living spikes. You can't. What does it mean if you want to gift a game to someone and watch them install and play it immediately after unwrapping it? You can't. And what does it mean for people who want to share games with their friends and family? Well, it's simple. They can't. And here we were, labouring under the impression PlayStation completely understood that one-step process. Whatever gave us that idea?
This is how you share your games on PS4. Thanks.
Time is a flat circle.
Moments later.
This is how you share your games on PS6. You don't. Thanks.
PlayStation.
Let's
History
reiterate,
does repeat itself,
PlayStation has
man.
announced the discontinuation of physical media immediately after telling its customers it was going to delete 550 movies from the accounts of people that paid for them. It's either baffling naivety or colossal arrogance. Neither one of those are strong characteristics. I just don't know which it is. I'll tell you what I do know though. I know that I'm not excited about a prohibitively expensive game console that won't play my old physical games, upon which anything I purchase could be removed without a speck of a refund or a hint of regret. It sure ain't much of a sales pitch. If you want to debate the future of PlayStation a little more, why...
Yeah, man. It's looking bleak. Gaming is looking bleak. Anyway, that's all I got. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think the future of gaming is going to look like. It's going to be as bleak as IGN said. I think it will be. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.
I'm in the whip with authority, looking like Skybri, she got a body, ayy. And she been calling me daddy lately, want me to put her in Cartiers, and the bitch deserve it. Put in work for the money, she earn it. Give me top every night, lip service. Then I gotta block these hoes, she worth it. I'm out in Abu Dhabi.